So if you look at a guy like Teo Aina, I mean, he's probably just like Wodemai of Ghana. He's just our Nigerian neighbor. He had to buy a passport. I think we talk about it a lot, but a lot of people think it's the same thing. We pull in the African card, the black card. It shows it goes to show how we get a lot of restrictions in terms of traveling, right? I mean, this is literally buying. Can you guess which country he bought this passport from?
St. Kitts and Nevis.
And that country is found in the
Caribbean.
Oh la la. So exactly. So why would somebody like this? We can say not everybody knows him, but he's pretty popular.
Yeah.
Why or what would push him to that brink of buying a passport of another country?
I think watching the video, he gave a whole lot of reasons. Being a Nigerian sometimes can be, my brothers, I know, I feel you. Because sometimes people say I look like a Nigerian. So I know. My own immigration. So looking at the video, his videos, he has gone through a lot, especially with immigration issues. If you travel, those of us who travel almost every...
Just anyone with an African passport,
generally speaking. Yeah.
But the Nigerians face it
especially,
more. Especially with the Nigerians. And I think that pushed him. He got to the brink of giving up on his dreams of traveling around the world, where it's sad to see. So that pushed him to go on that route.
Yeah. But realistically speaking, do you think it's justified how people always look at Nigerians in a negative light?
I think it's not fair to everyone. Yes, it might be factual that many people are falling victim to maybe some Nigerians, but it doesn't mean that every Nigerian has those intentions. I mean, if you look at it broadly, not every Ghanaian or not every citizen of every country does things right. In every country you have criminals, but there's this tag on Nigerians that because a few bad nuts have created problems in certain places, they tag all Nigerians as such. But that's the part that makes it suck, because then if you're a Nigerian, then you fall into this trap where everybody kind of has this notion that you have to be scrutinized more, you have to be denied privileges even if you deserve them. So I think that on the whole it's not fair, even though some situations have happened. It's not fair to every Nigerian to be
yeah, let's just look at it from continental Africa, that standpoint.
Yeah.
Does it really make sense? I mean, is it a neutral playground? Why is it that other people with different passports get to travel, have access to multiple different countries, they travel as much as they want? But if you come from Africa, it's you always have to go through these restrictions. What do you think warrants those restrictions? Why is it necessary? Because we've all gone through it. They pull us out of the queues, you got to go to this interrogation. They ask you 10,000 questions. Your visa has to be propped up. Check that a million times. I mean, why? Why does it always have to be people coming from that continent, the African continent?
It's hard to answer without putting discrimination. Without going that, I hate going that route because I don't want things to be done for me for free. That is my principle. But when you see other people from other countries getting those privileges like that, and the moment you get there, you are looked like I won't say a tag or a criminal I don't know why. It's best known to those people who make those laws, or sometimes it's not even about the law. It's about somebody's personal feelings. They carry their frustration from home, and then they come to work and they want to vent it on. Jokingly, I was reading something and something related to this thing, and somebody was like, sometimes I feel anytime a woman or a guy stops me, the guy is a guy, he said, I feel like it's either if the immigration lady stopped me, I feel maybe she got dumped by a black guy or an African guy.
Yeah, I mean,
or the other way is if it's a guy, then his wife or girlfriend was taken over from an African to
Took his wife or something.
Took his wife or something. So it is hard to explain. It is for me. You look at where we've come, like we've reached as a world, like the continent, everything, yeah. And I find it difficult in 2024. Things like this are still going on. Where do you position it? Is it because of people's greed, or
I think
it's difficult? Actually, it's a very difficult.
I've heard a few people say that in the early days, like after independence, of 60s, 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
for instance, in Ghana, when you finish school, because of a connection with the UK,
yeah.
if you wanted to go to continue education in the UK, it was all a matter of securing admission and going for your visa. That's the UK specifically. And at the time, it wasn't so difficult to travel to almost any country in the world. There were still immigration laws, but it wasn't as difficult as now.
Yeah.
And the reason some people give is that those who went earlier caused problems. They misuse the immigration systems and they cause problems, and that is why there's been this limelight on, especially people coming from Africa. People overstay their visas and all that. That is what some people say. But I think that at this point in time, it might just be an excuse because things have changed. We have fingerprints, facial recognition, and all these things. So if someone comes into your country and does something illegal, you can easily flush the person out.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that denying people the chance to travel, sometimes for very genuine reasons, and it's so painful that you pay these fees and then you're still denied a visa and it's not refunded. But maybe the reason for which you apply the visa is really genuine. You're going to visit someone or you're going as a tourist. But because sometimes you don't own a house or you don't have a job, they don't give it to you. Maybe I just made some money off the side and I want to use it to travel, but they will tell you, you don't have this, you don't have that, so we can't give you a visa. So I think that, like I said, some of the problem is coming from the fact that those who went earlier caused problems, and that's just one angle of it.
Yeah, but I mean, that is an interesting point. Because if you think about it, like, let me just come to a point and I'll let you speak. It's almost like saying people who came to Africa, like in the past, did not cause or generate any problems. So we're not going to allow any white person into Africa. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
we've moved past that.
You can look at. Listen, no, people travel, yeah, and whatever reason why they travel, it is best known to them.
Yeah.
But I hate the fact that I'm not saying don't restrict people
or
to
apply your laws
or apply your laws. No, that is not what I'm saying. But don't use somebody's bad behavior to punish someone.
Yeah.
Because if we have to go on that route, yeah, imagine me being a president, then there is no way a British is coming to Ghana, especially a Caucasian British.
Right.
And all over the world, the Japanese will say there's no way the Chinese will say this.
Yeah.
And every country has some ill feeling towards each other.
Right.
Then it will not work. You understand? It is about time, I feel, treat people or handle issues as they come. I'm
on
traveling
a case-by-case basis.
Case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
I'm coming to your country. I have all the documents. It doesn't matter which passport I'm using.
And your immigration law says, if I have ABC, you should give me the visa.
Before I got the visa, I did not print it somewhere. I went to your own embassy, paid for the visa, and you issued the visa. But you get to the airport and somebody will say, I don't feel like I want you to enter.
Yeah. Go back.
Go back.
I get that. That is also one way to look at it. But let's come back to why we're talking about this in the first place. I mean, tell you, Aina, we all know this guy. We use him as a point of reference. Now, this is not like, a Western thing or Caribbean thing or African.
It's just worldwide.
It's just
worldwide.
a global problem that, I mean, we got to really take a look at. Because I think he got arrested one time in South Africa. So we're not going to make it look like he got arrested in like England or whatever. I think it was South Africa he got arrested. He was badly like mistreated. So it transcends like local borders or whatever. So the point we're trying to come, I mean, last time we made a video about Wadimaya and Mapunga, right?
Joshua Mapunga.
And I think a lot of people call a lot of flack, a lot of comment, dissing us, bashing us, which is absolutely fine. But I think we misspoke. I think it was Dominican Republic,
Yeah.
and at one point we said Dominica, so we misspoke. We apologize for that if we caused any misunderstanding or misconception amongst the two countries. But the most important thing we got to look at is if a YouTuber, somebody whose net worth is around $600,000, right, has to go to the extent of purchasing
another
country's passport, then you have to understand the amount of limitations that are put on African travelers. And this is not something that we come up with like, oh, here we go again, because we've all experienced it. It's more personal than you might think. I have friends, I have people who go through the same thing. Now, you might say, oh, every country's got, like you said, their rights to scrutinize anybody coming into the country. 100%, I do agree. But when you are singled out, of an entire line of people, you can 200, 300 passengers on an airplane, you line up and then you get singled out. I mean, there is something to it. And it's not just me saying that, it's happened to multiple people that I know. There was even a girl who did a TED Talk, I forgot her name. She said the same, it happened to her, the same thing. Just being African, you get pulled out every time.
What can we do to change it?
This is the question that I'm coming to, because the question begs, how do we change this misconception? That not everybody who holds an African passport is a bad person or evil person or coming into your country to cause some sort of crime.
I think the only way is to keep exposing those in positions, like when you get to the airport, an immigration officer try to ask you uncomfortable questions. Sometimes some of the questions are very personal.
And very intimidating. Let's not forget that it's very intimidating.
In so many ways. We are in the age of technology, and if you can find a way to use your phone to expose this kind of behaviors, that is the only way. Because for me, I've always said on this platform that I'm a citizen of the earth. I believe if I want to go somewhere, I should be able to go freely. You understand? Okay, fine, we have borders. But as long as I've applied for a visa from your consulate and I've gotten it, I don't see the point in you trying to intimidate me or just disgrace me. Let me use the word disgrace, For what reason? So this, I think from social media, I always say there's a very good side of social media and a very bad side of social media. But one thing social media have done is it has given us the opportunity to expose this group of people. You understand? Because that's the only way. You cannot, people that have gone through all this kind of mistreatment, they need to come out. They need to say. We need to talk.
Yeah, but the question is, coming out is not. There is nothing really nothing's going to change by just coming out. Now, let me give you a little more context. I mean, I think our president, Nana Akufo-Addo, he said it one time. I mean, immigration started from Adam, right? If I'm not going to give you the whole detail, but Ellis Island, we all know Ellis Island. I mean, during the days when people were trooping into America, right? You can go do your own research about Ellis Island. So in order to have a fair, even playing field, how do we go about this? How do we kind of make people, it's like, is there anything like the African community got to do, the African government's got to do to give us a level playing field? We also have the right, I mean, it's a privilege if you would really look at it, but you can understand that some people get more privileged than others, right?
Hold on.
And this is not to cast aspersions on any creed, race, or group of people. It's just, if it's happening to Chinese, we're going to talk about it. If it happens to people from the Caribbean not giving, fair treatment coming into, we'll talk about it. So this is like we say, it's a generalized issue. So what should people from Africa do to gain that sort of level playing field in terms of traveling?
I think one way that we can deal with this is to engage in some sort of a national or continental discourse on this whole thing. I remember sometime last year, there was a section of Indian community that protested. First of all, I think two things. One, in Nigeria, many people protested the reason why they have to write IELTS tests when they have to go to study so-called native English-speaking countries, when their national language is English. And your language of instruction from kindergarten to university is English. So what is the point asking me to go and pay more money
yeah.
into a foreign country's system or coffers to take a test that is not necessary.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And in India to
No, wait, hold on. Is that like a requirement across board? It's just not for Nigerians, right? Is it?
it's across board.
Okay.
For people who don't come from
a native
so-called native English.
So, which country was he going to?
No, it was just a general.
Okay. Because I'm thinking in this case, like if an American is going to the same country, is he required to take that test?
No.
Sometimes, yeah, some countries are not required.
I know some are not required, but some also are.
For immigration, yes, but for studies.
For immigration, for what?
Like permanent residence to certain countries, even if you're an American, you have to. But for studies, they were protesting.
Yeah, you're talking
like an English
That's
proficiency test.
And also India, last year there was a mass protest, I think online. People were saying that they had spent money. They actually brought out the statistics of how much money Indians had paid for Schengen visas and had been refused, but the money had not been refunded. So I think Africa or these disadvantaged countries in terms of traveling, there should be a major discuss on
We are talking about the world here.
the world, yes.
Yeah, of course,
Because all people who feel it should discuss it on social media. But I think that government should also take a step on these things, because just discuss in the social circles cannot change anything. Government should actually step in and say, if someone applies for a visa and you are not issuing the visa, don't hold on to the person's money.
You can take 50,
some
50
administrative fee or something and refund the money. Then people would, then the embassies will start to take these applications seriously, because they have the power, of course, to accept, approve, or reject a visa.
Yeah.
But if they start to see that money is dwindling, because if the number of rejections I make is the amount of money we are losing, then they will take a critical look at these applications. Sometimes I think they don't even look at these applications, because someone prepares a very good application, and the reason that comes back as the reason for rejection is not tangible. They'll tell you, I feel like how can you feel? I feel like when you go, you won't come back. The other person that you are issuing the visa to, how did you come about feeling that person will leave when their visa expires?
That's what I'm saying.
So I think one, there should be a social discourse on that, and two, the governments should step in, because the government is a bigger force.
Yeah,
I think I agree with the both. Actually, I agree with both. That's why I said earlier we should expose them. We talk about it. If you have a video, blast it online. But the government side is where I fully agree, because I'll chip in, I'll go a bit off. You know, we are from a native speaking country. I won't say native, but our first language is English. That is what
we
know.
feel we are native, but they say we are not.
But some countries don't see us as native. Why? So this one, it's on to our government to step in and say, listen, with our relationship, our bilateral relationship we have, this is what we are. You accept it like that, or we can also get you somewhere. These are things government needs to do. Individuals like us cannot really do anything. The only thing is to expose it, like we're talking about. You understand?
Yeah.
That's how far we can go.
If I can just add this, you know, we're talking about Tayo Aina, who is a celebrated YouTuber in Africa, not just in Nigeria. And if you watch his videos, you know he puts a lot of hard work into it. And when you watch him and you follow his channel, you can see that he genuinely wants to travel to make videos, content for people to watch, to educate people. So when someone like that goes to apply for a visa to embark on such a short trip and he's denied, it's so frustrating. And that's what will push him to that point. And let me also go further to say, although most African countries are disadvantaged when it comes to visa issuance and all, there are certain countries that offer visa-free entry for African passports. Singapore is one. Singapore has visa-free for almost every country, just a few countries. But Singapore is a developed country. Maybe much better than some other countries that we think are developed.
Exactly.
But have we ever heard a foreigner throwing a bomb in Singapore? Have we ever heard of there might be petty crimes, but they've made it clear that if you come here and you misbehave, these are rules. We'll put you in. We'll take you in. So you have the Philippines, you have Singapore, you have Thailand. All these countries, do we hear is it when you make it too strict, then when people enter, they don't want to leave. But if people know that, okay, I have easy access, I can go in and come anytime, I can go on a holiday, I can go and visit friends, then people don't even want to stay because whenever I want to go, I can go. But when you make it so strict, then when people get a chance to enter, they don't want to leave. Because when I leave, I don't know when I can come back in.
My other problem too is the over targeting a particular group,
right,
or a particular continent. That is where I don't like, because if you've traveled around the world, so and our listeners know every single part, like all these 7 continents or whatever we talk about, every country you will go, you meet a national from 1 or 2 continents,
right,
or more, and the same things that they complain about us, we also know about them. You understand? They go to our places, they've done so many things in our places, they continue to do those things, but we are not necessarily using it against them. So why is it that every single time, it doesn't matter how successful you are, and that is where my heartbreak is. It doesn't matter how successful you are, let that sink in. They don't care what you're going to do, whether you are going to educate, inspire, or whatever. As long as you are from that continent, you are tagged. And that is really
that is the first thing before they even start looking at your
before they start
paperwork.
looking at you. And the annoying, let me add this one, because for me, when it annoyed me, I said that the annoying side is even the one trying to humiliate you or put you somewhere or just cause you trouble. Maybe that person, you can even pay that person.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard both sides, but I think it's more like you say, it's more like, diplomatically like inclined. These are stuff that like you're saying, like either the blocks or like the continent as a whole, or the leaders have to engage like in certain countries, and based on like negotiations or leveraging whatever they have, they can kind of like come to these terms about either visa on arrival or electronic visa or whatever it is, or free entry. But I think the most interesting part is, if you look at it from like a humanistic standpoint, somebody like Tay, right? Is he now being a poser, or is he being like himself? Because think about it, he's fully 100% Nigerian, and then you just buy a passport for 150,000 USD. I think. And now, hold on, and now you're not even claiming, but you are legally a person or a citizen of Saint Kitts and Nevis. You've never stepped foot into this country. You have no relation there whatsoever, right? But you have this passport that allows you to go into multiple countries, right? Free of visa. So at the end of the day, is he posing, or is he rather being himself as a Nigerian?
He has never shied away from the truth. He always admits he's Nigerian, and he will forever be a Nigerian. I think he got this passport to ease his travel.
No, I understand, but that's what I'm saying. That this whole global idea that you have to be yourself. I don't want to go somewhere and be like. Now, I'm not saying he's posing, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying from the way things look, you present yourself being honest. I'm a Nigerian, right? I hold a passport. I'm coming into a country to shoot videos. You can check my resume. I have all these videos online, but you go through all these hassles. But now I get the money, I buy a passport from a different country.
I think
suddenly everything changes.
He got the passport to be able to teach the world. You understand? To expose the world to the world. You understand?
Yes, of course, it makes sense.
And the passport helps him to do that. So in his videos, he has always claimed Nigerian.
Oh, no doubt.
You understand?
Yeah, of course.
So I think there's no big deal, because it's like me coming to America and getting my American passport. At the end of the day, I know no matter what you do, even in your passport, they will write a Ghanaian American or African American or naturalized or whatever, right? So, but at the end of the day, it helps you to achieve your goals.
But there's a difference. I mean, when you talk about naturalized or becoming a citizen of the United States or Canada, there are processes. You live there. No, but he just bought it outright. He just bought it cash. So that's what I'm saying.
Your problem is he has not lived
No, it's
in
not a problem that I have.
No. Your question is...
Yeah, it's just interesting how as long as, you can pay money, you buy something. It's like just...
So
it was being sold.
No, I get that part. No, I'm not saying he did anything wrong. Let me rephrase my question. My question is, you are who you are. You are the same person,
Yes,
same attribute,
yes.
same character,
Yeah.
same every single thing,
Yeah.
culture, whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. If I can afford it, I'll tell you the truth. I'll buy one.
Oh, that I get you. I get that point. My point that I'm trying to make is that what really changes after you get that new passport?
A lot.
If you, no, my point is, if you're gonna commit a crime in other people's countries, you're still the same criminal.
Yeah.
But once you buy this passport,
All of a
now
sudden you
all
got
doors get
different-
opened.
yeah.
So are you really a person from a humanistic standpoint, or you
Oh,
are who
okay,
you are who you are via
with your African passport,
say you are?
Listen,
do you know what I mean?
Listen,
Do
with
you
your,
get the
with,
question?
with your
Yeah.
African passport, depending on which eagle is on top, with your African passport, you're a different human being. It's facts.
Yeah, you're perceived.
Exactly, but this is what I'm trying to find.
So-
I'm trying
so
to find
I-
what differentiates the two. Once you get this passport, right? Snap, every door gets
So,
open for you.
so actually, it is the country you are coming from or the continent you are coming from, and you know, particularly, let's look at that country. That country has the opportunity to when you come from that country, you can travel to.
The European Union.
You
many
can
countries.
travel
Of
to
course,
any
it's free.
dream country.
If
of
you
yours.
saw his video, it was the same thing. Once he went to his first travel, once he
To the
went through
UK, yeah.
immigration, he was like, he could not believe
7,
that
8
no
seconds.
questions
So
asked.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Nothing.
So with that country, I don't know why they've given them that leverage, but when you have that kind of passport, then you become a human being when you're traveling.
a better human, right?
Yeah, a better human.
So overnight, your circumstances change.
Although you are
But
still the same.
It's called a
person.
golden visa, and many countries have it. Even Canada used to have it
yeah.
a few years back, and the council, I think you had to invest like $2 million. Something.
Yeah, a few
And
countries do that, yeah.
If you can, Portugal, they all, Greece, they all have these things. They've only increased the threshold. That also makes me think that sometimes you can see clearly that it's business, because we don't want you, but we want your money.
Yeah.
And they get the money because what do you call a citizen? A citizen is somebody who was born there or
Has
came in later,
contributed.
contributed, studied there, contributed something.
Yeah.
Then you are rewarded with a citizenship or something. But if you sell it outright, whereas the person, the beneficiary has never even stepped foot in the country, then it's business. So that also tempts me to think that all these visa applications where you pay money, you're denied a visa, and the money is not given back to you. It makes me think that it's business as well.
So
It-
yeah, so that's
because-
what I'm trying. So it's pretty much economics, right?
Yeah.
If you have the money to buy it, hey, we accept you, right? Look at you. It doesn't matter who you are. We don't even ask, oh, you're like a citizen of another country? Like, do you have
Right.
two citizenship? No.
No.
As long as you have it,
And it's your passport.
golden
Yeah.
passport,
Yeah,
you can go there.
that- okay.
So how is this not gonna influence like an influx of people from Africa? It's like everybody's gonna. I mean, those who can afford it, right?
It's expensive.
Yeah, if they start buying them and keep pouring into Europe or whatever, that is acceptable. But if you want to come in, let's say from Nigeria, you're Nigerian, you have that Nigerian passport, you're coming in for
Same
a conference,
person, yeah.
the same. That is not okay. That's the
that
difference I'm
dichotomy here.
trying to strike.
Right. Yeah, which is really, really very strange because I could go into maybe the UK on a Ghana passport, and then next 2 months later, I buy a passport from St. Kitts. I go in there with the same information, name, whatever. But now the citizenship is St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I don't need a visa, but I'm still the same person.
Yeah.
What I have in my mind, you never know.
Yeah.
You know. It's
But this
not
is
me per
this
se,
is exactly
but-
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you can literally walk up to the check-in, right? Give
Yeah.
them your Nigerian
Yeah.
passport,
Yeah.
and they're like, blah 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 blah.
You
Okay,
can't go in
you
without
turn
the visa.
around, you take your St. Kitts and Nevis
Yeah.
passport, you go back again, and
then
you
they
can
stamp
go
it
in.
for you, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. That it's a very very interesting
Yeah.
like scenario if you think about it. But anyways, well, we just leave it open as usual, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Up for discussion. So hit us up if you enjoyed this video. Check out more videos from DSL. See you on the next episode.
Peace out.